Tonight on The Graveyard Shift, run for cover. It's the attack of the 50-foot woman. Then Todd Browning's famous exploitation feature, Freaks.
You're just a man's woman. You know what I mean? Huh? You.
Plus, we take a look at Jesus' son.
I've been shot twice, though.
Evening Shifties, I'm Tabitha, and tonight on The Graveyard Shift, we've got two movies that look at what it's like to be, well, a little different. First up, you better be polite to this one. There's a 50-foot woman at the door.
She'll tear up the whole town till she finds Harry.
Yeah, and then she'll tear up Harry.
After that, we have a bit of a cinematic treat, Todd Browning's Freaks, one of the first truly frightening exploitation features. All of that right after this.
There are some people out there who would like to know a thing or two about you. Would you describe yourself for those people?
Okay, feature time. Attack of the 50-foot woman is the direct result of a cross between King Kong and Germaine Greer. She's big, she's assertive, and she's down on men. The pertinent question being, does she shave under her armpits? Don't look up, boys. This was directed by Nathan Duran in 1958. He must have had issues about women and size. That same year, he shrunk Catherine Grant down to become the 50mm woman in The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. But in tonight's film, he pumps Alison Hayes up to a whopping 50 feet.
She'll tear up the whole town till she finds Harry.
Yeah, and then she'll tear up Harry.
So the reason she's 50 foot tall? Why, she meets an alien out in the desert, of course. A year earlier, in 1957, Nathan Duran directed Ronald and Nancy Reagan in Hellcats of the Navy. Lord knows what he had to do for that film. But posters for Attack of the 50-foot woman read, "See a female colossus, her mountainous torso, skyscraper limbs, giant desires." No mention of badly fabricated plaster hands, though.
Doctor! Dr. Cushing! Something's happened to Mrs. Archer!
Oh well, here it is. Attack of the 50-foot woman.
The following program is rated MA.
Ooh, that must have been a big grave someone had to dig for her. In real life, Alison Hayes died from blood poisoning in 1977 when she was just 47 years old. Yvette Vickers, her husband's floozy, went on to great things though. She starred in another Attack movie, Attack of the Giant Leeches. And what do you think happened to her philandering husband? Well, he died young in real life from Lannex's cirrhosis. Blech.
Who needs life?
Well, I need another drink. It's on Tony.
Oh, no, you don't. Right after the success of Bela Lugosi's Dracula in 1931, the director Todd Browning got straight to work on his next screenplay, an adaptation of the Todd Robbins short story, Spurs. It was set to blow the top off the movie business. It did. Browning may have worked in Hollywood again, but he sure wasn't paid the same. Critics called Freaks morbid and disturbing. The studio publicists went one step further, advertising it as an exploitation novelty sensation not to be missed. And how did the actors feel? Well, Johnny Eck was one of only a couple who stood by Browning after the film's release and subsequent failure.
Come on! Come on, Venus! The bearded lady's baby's born!
Johnny Eck was the almost identical twin brother of Robert, with whom he performed the hugely popular Soaring in Half routine at sideshows all over the USA. Despite his featured role and friendship with Browning, due to dodgy management, Eck only received 10% of the $1,000 a week MGM paid him. Another victim of exploitative management was Schlitzie, an intelligent guy and a victim of microcephaly, plus a favourite on the MGM lot.
Let's see, what a pretty dress. Oh, how beautiful you look tonight. You're just a man's woman.
Well, kind of. He enjoyed dressing as a woman anyway, and he was big on jewellery and hats. Despite having made a lot of money performing, Schlitzie wound up in a state mental facility from which he was later removed by a Canadian entrepreneur who got him back into the movie business. One of the most interesting actors in Freaks is a man who called himself Prince Randian.
We've got bigger time to follow, and we can do it, too. Well, catch a rack tomorrow night. We got something new.
Now that'll kill you. During filming, he used to hide out under stairs and in corners and yell out to frighten other cast members. Freaks was pulled from circulation following its New York run and banned completely in Great Britain until the late 60s. It's been called offensive, unsightly, terrifying and cruel. You judge for yourself. Here it is, Freaks.
The following program is rated MA and is not suitable for audiences under the age of 15.
It's definitely disturbing. The original ending, cut by censors, had the so-called freak swarming into Cleopatra's boyfriend's trailer to castrate him. In the final shot of the film, we see him singing soprano next to her, quacking like a duck. Freaks had a revival at the '62 Venice Film Festival following a summer of horrific international headlines about the drug thalidomide. Photographer Diane Arbus, exploitation filmmaker Dwayne Esper, and film director David F. Friedman all say that Freaks had a profound effect on their art. Its ban in Britain was lifted in the '60s and it's since been adapted for stage by the French. God, what a freak show that'd be. So, disregard the dirty residue left by this week because we're wiping it off next week with this.
Next week on The Graveyard Shift.
It's the devil's playground.
This movie speaks for itself, Rin.
Don't skip on the meat.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. Dennis Hopper stars in a hell-raising rampage.
Hell's exactly what they raise.
Followed by Peter Cushing in Shockwaves.
What's bothering you, mister?
Peach is more horrible than any you can imagine.
Sometimes they're just plain stupid.
You are indeed very stupid.
Mad Bastards Night. Next week on Arena's Graveyard Shift.
Why wouldn't you stay home for that? See you then.